Hello, Nomad Sculpt and Morphinapp. So this video is about the first rig. So as I said, I started also with zero experience in animation things. So let's start. So first, Nomad Sculpt. So we start with a new character. So like this here. So I create a new scene. And let's start from the beginning. So let's check the wireframe, it's okay. So let's use this sphere. Then we need a second sphere, so I add a sphere again. So first rig. So this is the body of the guy. So make it a little bit bigger. So important is start with a character so easy it can be, only basic shapes and nothing more. So I'm adding a cylinder for the neck. Like this. And then I use the tube tool. So this becomes the arm. And for the orientation you need, best is such a T pose, so the arms are in this direction, or a pose. So let's try a T pose. So this is part one of the arm, and then I'm cloning the tube, so second part of the arm, and then I add a sphere. So I use now on the gizmo position, I create a sphere, make it a little bit smaller. So this becomes the hand. Okay, so I select now the three parts here and I add, not on gizmo, a mirror node. So two arms. So I select the three parts here and I clone them. So, and I pick the highlighted mesh and put it out of the mirror repeater. So now I'm selecting this mesh here. So I make a hierarchy. So I hope the hierarchy is correct. No. I start with this one. Second tube. So this is the hierarchy. And I bring it now down to the position of the legs. Maybe like this. I'm using this one. Okay. So I'm adding again a repeater. So this looks fine. And now it's time to prepare this character here for the export. So I validate the meshes. So validate. You can do it faster, but I do it now one by one for beginners to see what happens here. So this is the validating process of the mesh. So the next thing here, I turn on the face groups. You see here different face groups. So yeah, this becomes a problem. But first, we are validating the mirror nodes. So validate the mirror nodes and join the children. Yes. And here also validate yes. Okay, so now we are combining the separate mesh parts to one big mesh, so a single mesh. So select everything in the hierarchy in the outliner, and then I'm using here at the bottom here this option to voxel remesh the whole thing. So we can change a little bit the resolution of the mesh, so and press remesh. So now this mesh is a single combined body. So yeah, I'm using the move tool, and here symmetry is active at the moment. So yeah, I adjust the body here a little bit. And smoothing. Only a few little adjustments here, that this guy looks a little bit nicer. So smooth everything a little bit out like this. Okay, so now important face groups. Here you have to clear or reset the face groups. Press reset. This is very, very important. The next step is here select the gizmo and check the matrix here. So if it's like this, so reset it, bring it back to the center, and if baking is possible, bake the matrix before you export this guy here. And the next thing is we have to check here the poly count. So for this guy here, we are it's about 18,000 vertices. So here you find in the MISC menu option to decimate the mesh. So press decimate. So and let's check the whole thing here. So here the mesh is stretched a lot. So I go a few steps back, and so preserve borders, so maybe 50%, and maybe check uniform faces. So let's try decimation like this. So the stretching is not so much. So okay, so maybe we try it with this mesh here. So I'm saving, and now here export settings. GLTF. I select all, vertex colors is active, PBR paint, normals, tangents, okay. So, but first I'm choosing a little bit of a other color. So I paint it a little bit darker. So I export GLTF. So let's save it. Okay, now the Morphinapp. This is a blank viewport, so nothing, no objects here. So the outliner is, there's nothing in the outliner. So here we have to import the mesh. Sorry, I have to use my finger. And I'm importing first rig. So here is our character. Okay. So to create a rig, you find here in the top menu, here, this menu, and there's the last point here is create a rig. So I press on this and then I create a starting bone. And yeah, this becomes some master bone for the body. So yeah, so place it a little bit here like this, and it looks good. So this is okay. So here on the side menu, on the right side menu, you find here options to create bones. This is for a single bone, and you can press always on the small info icon here, so add disconnected bone. So this is a separate single bone, and here this one is for add a connected bone. So we need this here to create a second bone for the head. So press this one. So this is the bone for the head. And here, this is important here. For the scaling of the bone, here only use this this ring here. So what's the color name? Lila, this one here. So scale it only on this ring, and not the scaling here in this direction and not in this direction. No, only the ring here. Okay. And the best is to learn it from the beginning, to rename the bones here. So this becomes the head bone. And I call this here belly bone. Okay. So for the center bone here, we need now separate bones for the arms and for the legs. So select, so maybe this bone is selected, but select this one. And then here in the side menu, add a connected bone like this. And then use the gizmo to place the bone in the correct direction. And as I said, for scaling, use only the I don't know the name for it in English. Lila. This ring. Okay, first bone. And then we need a second bone here. So make it a little bit smaller. And then a last one for the hand. Perfect. So here rename upper arm. And here for the renaming here, so this side here is the when you rotate your character, this is the back side and this is the front side. So this is here the left arm. So here I press here and rename it as here and rename it with left, like this. So the next bone is so underline and left. Okay. And this one here is hand left. Okay. So undo. So now we want to mirror this side to the other side. So I select now this bone, and here in the side menu there's a cloning option here, this one, clone. So here, clone bone, I press on this, and here you can select a single bone or the hierarchy. So we need here a hierarchy, and we flip it on the X axis. So now press clone. Sorry. So it asks you for the suffix. So we need here underline for the right side. So I apply it. So let's check it. Yeah. Okay, it seems to be okay. So the next part is legs bones. So I'm selecting the center bone again. Here on the side, this one. And I place here the bone. Scaling. Only this ring for scaling. Okay, looks nice. Okay, next one. Undo. And the last one. Okay, I select this one here. Leg 1 left. Okay, the next one. Leg 2 left. And here this one. Leg. No, this is the foot. Left. Okay. So again, I select this bone here. I'm choosing the clone option, the hierarchy, the X, and clone. And now we need the suffix right. Okay. So let's look at this thing here. This is our skeleton. Okay, it looks nice. So now we have to connect our mesh here. So this here at the top, this is our mesh. Oh, we forgot to rename it. So let's call this character. Okay. So we select now here in the outliner with the checkbox the character, and then we select the rig or the skeleton, and then here you find a binding option. Bind skeleton to mesh. So don't ask me what all these things do. So the only thing we need for this is here this auto weight. So press on auto weight. So successfully voxelization. So now the bones are connected to the mesh, and now let's see if it works. So you see here a few problems, but this is not the part of this tutorial video. This takes more time. So here, when you pose your mesh here, to get back in the A position or a T position, here's the button to bring it back. And let's check all the bones here. It seems to work. This one, it's fine. The head. Okay. And the legs. Everything seems okay. So this is a point where it's important to press here save or save as. So save as or save, so I use now save as, and I rename this as the first rig. So, and just for fun to see that it works, So you see here at the bottom the timeline, and here is a button to create such a, how it's called, a frame. So press on this here, so the starting frame, and it creates now. Sorry, nothing is created. So something like this here is created, and then move your slider here in a position a few seconds later. So, and place your leg in a different position like this, and then press here again to create another keyframe. So here we can go back. So you see now in our timeline the movement of the character is here. So when I press here play at the bottom, it starts to animate. So, and here when you pick this small icon here, you can slide here this gray thing here to the position here, and when you press now play, you see your animation here. So here for the mesh itself, we have to fix a lot of things to get a smooth, nice animation. But for this video it's enough. So have fun with animation, and ciao.